Good morning to all. I am Subramaniam, working as assistant professor in SNS College of Technology. In this session, we are going to see about the fundamentals of building components. So, fundamentals of building components, we see in this section about the foundation. So, whenever building is being built, the foundation is the important part and it is the lowest part of the building. Either it be commercial building or it's a residential building or many floors of the as a mall or else by the multi-story buildings also. So the foundation is the just above the earth itself, but and also it will be on the earth itself. But foundation depends on the mainly on the type of the soil, rock as well as water level content also. So in this foundation, before studying foundation, we must say whether it is a superstructure or substructure. Substructure means on the level for the foundation level will be provides the foundation and support also for the substructure. Whereas superstructure is above the building, above the ground building, but it has a multi-story building also. And we see what is the stability of the foundation mainly depends upon the soil or the water content, groundwater level, and also the rocks, and what type of the building has to be to build it. Everything has to be previously mentioned that, and then according to that you must go for the foundation of the stability also. So here first it ensures the building's overall strength itself. The basic strength is it ensures the building's overall strength itself. Next, it provides a level of the base of the superstructure. Whether it's a multi-story building or above the ground level is one of the superstructure building, and at the ground level is one of the substructure building itself. And also the information has to be given to the foundation itself, which prevents the soil induced structure or the structural damage itself. Once the building is being built, it will be having a strong building itself. But in course of time, due to the weather conditions, there may be some damages can happen to the building itself, which causes because the foundation itself. So the foundation must prevent the soil induced on the structural damage, and also the main point is uniformly transfers the weight to the soil itself. Even though the floors level as well as the wall thickness and any goods has been placed on the floor, it will be the weight distributed to the soil itself uniformly. And the foundation, there are two types of foundations there mainly. One is shallow foundation and deep foundation. So shallow foundation depends on the less width than the high soil capacity, whereas the deep foundation is also a pile foundation or pier foundation, which gives a depth will be greater than the width and the width, and which has a low soil capacity also. So shallow foundations mainly the depth will be less than the width itself. There will be more width than the width of the pillar will be higher than the depth of the pillar itself. And in this one, shallow foundations, you can see the carry usages. Shallow foundation mainly used for the suitable soil conditions or the structural stability itself. And the depth will be minimum depth only, whereas minimum depth of 800 meters or 850 meters or maximum depth of the 4 meters. Whereas the soil bearing capacity, maximum bearing capacity will be there. So whereas width of the shallow foundation will be higher than the depth itself. Whereas the depth of foundation will be there. The foundations, the bearing capacities of the soil type and structural load, which gives us a pile foundation or a pillar foundation itself. So footing width will be lesser than the footing of the depth of width will be lesser than the depth. Depth will be higher than. And foundation types and comparisons, we say shallow foundation and deep foundation. In shallow foundation, the lesser the width, whereas the deep foundation greater than the equal to the width is also. And also soil bearing capacity is maximum in the shallow foundation, whereas very low in the deep foundations, and low transfers directly in the shallow foundations, whereas the deep foundation is in the vertical. So on comparing the foundations of the foundation footing also, foundation can be shallow and deep, whereas the footing means it's the type of shallow foundation only. And another types of foundations are further from the apart from the shallow foundation, deep foundation, it is further into slip foundation, yeah, isolated foundation, and foot foundations also. And deep foundation is classified as a pile foundation and a class discussion foundation itself. So with this, we'll come to the end of the session of this one. That is a foundation types of soil bearings. From the foundation, go for depth or width, and depth or width, and then the foundation depth foundation, and then goes for soil bearing capacity, and finally is for the which foundation is there. With this, we'll come to the end of the session. Thank you.